Hello, everyone. This is Coach Mary Nawabi, and this week I have one of the top successful real estate agent and a great role model in the city of Brentwood. That's where we both live in, and I want to welcome Krista Mashore.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, we first met Krista at an event, and I was very impressed by her. And I've always heard about her because she's all over the internet. But I just love her personality, her excitement, and her enthusiasm about life and business. And I think we can all learn a few great things from her. So, Krista, if you could please introduce yourself and tell us about, how you got to be where you are today.
Thank you. Okay, so my name's Krista, as you guys all know, and I am a real estate agent as well as a real estate coach. Thank you, honey. And I've been in the real estate business for about 17 years. And just about a year and a half ago, I started actually coaching real estate agents from across the country as well. And yeah, I mean, I
What excites you about real estate, first of all?
I love helping people. And when I used to be a teacher. I taught third grade for 6 years. And when I got into real estate, my broker said, "Oh, teachers do really, really good in this business because they teach."
Yes.
And yeah, I was very fortunate to be successful, not by choice. Actually, I got into the business because my goal was to be a stay-at-home mom. My youngest daughter, one that you just saw a minute ago, she ended up getting really, really sick. She contracted spinal meningitis when she was little. She had a kidney. Oh, big spider. She had a kidney failure and multiple strokes. So we spent about 3 weeks at Oakland's Children's Hospital. And at that time, they told me on multiple occasions that I should prepare myself because they didn't think that she was going to make it through the night. It was a pretty rough time. Yeah. And so she ended up being okay, but they had told me that most likely I should anticipate her to have some, possibly to be blind or to be deaf or to be mentally disabled, just to kind of prepare myself for the worst because she was so sick and in there for such a long time. And so I decided to leave my full-time teaching job and be a stay-at-home mom. And I got my real estate license at the time just to kind of play real estate. I thought, oh, I'll sell 1 or 2 houses a year and I can be a stay-at-home mom. And we had another kind of misfortunate turn of events happen where my husband at the time, I found out he was having an affair. So it wasn't the first affair. So I left, and or basically he left. He basically left us. We had just bought a brand new house in Brentwood, and he left and left me with the 2 kids and a brand new mortgage payment. And and so I realized really quickly that I had to jump into real estate to kind of protect my kids, protect myself, and all that good stuff. And that's just what I did.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. So you've had a long journey. So as you know, as a mindset coach and leadership coach, I help people with 2 things. One is I help people to get unstuck with whatever that they're stuck with. And some of the challenges that people get stuck with is their mindset, their psychology, their relationship at home with their spouse, with their kids, health issues, right? Things like also divorce. And the second thing I do is help people accomplish their goal at the higher level of degree. As I shared with you earlier, that the group that gets stuck with is larger than the group that wants to accomplish their goal. Because I think we all want to do better things in life, but we just get stuck with whatever we get stuck. And people sometimes can't seem to snap out of it. So my job is not an easy job. It's a tough job because one thing is that you can help yourself become successful and become happy. The other question is, how do you help someone else to accomplish the same thing? So there's a lot of mindset that goes into helping somebody else. It's not an easy job, but I thought, I want to bring you and so you could share like some of the behind the scene roadblocks that you've gone through, like things you just mentioned right now. My husband cheated on me, and how did you have to deal with that? Like something that you're stuck with and you found yourself in a difficult situation. How did you bounce back?
Well, one thing people have to understand is that we're all exactly the same, right? I mean, you look at people and you think that they are different, or they just have it lucky, or they're just they just have it all, you know. And I think, you know, people think about about me a lot because it looks from the outside like I have a lot, right? And what they don't know about me, a lot of them don't know the story I just told you. A lot of them don't know that I spent, you know, 3 months as a young juvenile in juvenile hall, and then I was in a group home for a year up in Cottonwood near Roseville, or not Roseville, but Reading. And then I was in a foster home all through high school. And I went through some pretty rough times, right? It was kind of like that happened. And then I decided, I met some really, really great girls in high school, and I decided to kind of turn my life around. And I could have went the completely opposite way. One of the girlfriends that I grew up with, she ended up, you know, getting severely heavily into drugs and spending, you know, about 12, 15 years of her life addicted to hardcore drugs.
Wow.
And I, in high school, decided I just wanted more for myself. So I ended up putting myself through college, paying for every dime of it on my own. No one gave me any money. I literally worked full-time, went to school full-time. There's people listening to think it's a crock, and this is
Krista, hold on a second. We're
and I think that's what people need.
The connection is going. Something happened. Go ahead again. You're paused. Can you hear me?
Is that better, Mary?
Yeah, now it's better. It was stuck for like a few seconds.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not sure where we left off.
So you said all the stuff that you went through, and you decided for yourself to put yourself through college, and you had a friend that went through drugs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we left off.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I know this sounds so cliche, and I hate to say it, but you said it yourself. Mindset is such a huge part, right? And you can literally change. You can only control yourself. You can't control other people. You can't control other people think about you or say to you or how they act to you. All you can control is you. And so I've just really, and it's not from anything other than constantly reading books like Think and Grow Rich and The School of Greatness and, you know, Millionaire Success Habits and, you know, Chet Holmes, The Ultimate Sales Machine. I mean, I'm, you know, how to never lose a customer again. I mean, I can go on and on. I am constantly listening to books. And while I'm getting ready in the morning, I have books in my ear. And when I'm cooking dinner, as long as my kids aren't there, I'm listening to something, right? I'm always trying to be really mindful of my mind and the state that it's in. And I just choose to, you know, and there's times I'll have a bad day and I'm sitting there being negative Nelly, and I'll just go, gosh, Krista, look what you're doing. And I'll just say, stop right now. And then, you know, when you start doing that enough, it starts to work. It really does. It's just a matter of really recognizing what it is that you're saying to yourself, how you're thinking, what thoughts are coming in, and making a conscious effort to put good, clean thoughts into your head, because that will help you just get so much further in life.
Wow. So I didn't know. I mean, you've been through so much in life.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's who made me who I am, you know, and I wouldn't change any of it. I really wouldn't, because I just wouldn't. I mean, I feel very blessed, and again, I say this because people look at me and they think, oh, she has all this money, and they assume all these things, right? They don't understand that I wasn't a group home, I wasn't a foster home, I was in juvenile hall. I paid for every dime of my own school. You know, I didn't have anybody handing anything to me, right? It's been from hard work. And there was plenty of times where I really thought, I mean, you know me, I'm pretty thin, but when I went through that divorce, I was like 95 pounds. I mean, I weigh 125. So imagine me 30 pounds thinner. I was just very, very sad, because I know that everyone thinks that divorce is normal and it happens to everybody. But I was raised that you don't get divorced, right? The only reason you can get divorced is from having an affair. And so after the second one, and then later I found out there was like, you know, way more. I decided to leave, and but it wasn't easy, you know. And I would show up every day smiling, and I had to like work my way out of a kind of a depression, right? Because my family was torn apart. But one day I remember sitting in the kitchen. It was Thanksgiving, and it was the first Thanksgiving that I didn't have my daughter. So the new girlfriend came knocking at the door without my ex-husband and driving my car at the time. This is no joke. And she's picking up my kids. And I just remember sitting in the kitchen on Thanksgiving, just sobbing. I mean, for like hours. And then, you know, I was just, you feel like, oh, I can't get any lower, right? I was alone. No one was there. And I looked outside, and it was a blank backyard just full of weeds because we had just moved into our new house. And I remember thinking, you know what? You can keep doing this and keep being sad and just feeling sorry for yourself, or you can choose to pick yourself up. And so my goal was to put a beautiful backyard in the backyard for my daughters. And I envisioned, you know, a beautiful pool and a play yard, and I envisioned making them happy and keeping them safe and smiles. And so from that point on, I just chose to go and kick some real estate butt, and that's what I did.
You know, and no wonder that all of that you've been through that drives you so much to just keep moving forward.
Yeah, you need to drive. Everyone needs to figure out what, you know this, you're a coach. So, and again, this seems so cliche. And sometimes when I talk about things, I think people, they don't really listen or hear because they're assuming that that's just all they hear, and it's not really real, right? I mean, all these great thought leaders like Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins and Napoleon Hill, they all teach the exact same thing. It's not a surprise.
Yes.
What's a surprise, what's one common theme is that when people actually listen and take it serious and then make a choice to make those habits a part of their everyday life, right? Positive affirmations, visualizing your day, choosing to focus on what's working instead of what's not working, celebrating small wins all the time and continuing to do so, because success breeds success, right? Small wins equate to bigger wins over time. Whereas most people are so focused on what's not working in their life and how bad things are and blah, 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 that they keep getting it. And you have to know that you got to focus on the good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. It is so important. Like you said, I actually have you said the Think and Grow Rich. So I have
I love it
on my desk because it's a reference book for me. Because you know, by nature, I'm kind of a driver too. I know you're a high driver, but I'm a little bit lower driver in my personality. So I've never finished any book all the way through the end. This is the only, I start, but I just kind of leave it.
Uh-huh.
It's the only book that I've read 3 times and I have highlights and I just take stuff from it. You know?
Yeah. I've probably read it like 5 or 6 times. I love it. I'm listening to it again right now. And every time I listen to it, I get more stuff, and it becomes easier to kind of listen to, you know, and to sort of sink in.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, thank you. There's a lot of great information you shared. What would be your advice to those that are stuck with something in their life? Like, I know you shared, there's probably, you've written a book and there's a lot of stuff that you can recommend, but what would be 1 or 2 things that someone could start today to just start to even feel better, right? Forget about setting goals, just to feel better, so you could get up and say, I just want to get up and do things today.
Yeah, I love that question. So one of the strategies that I teach my students and that I've done is to stick a rubber band. So like a hair tie or some kind of rubber band around on your wrist.
Yes.
And every single time that you say something negative about your marriage, how you look, your job, life, anything, that you have to recognize it and you snap the wrist. Take it and take the rubber band and change it to the other hand, and then reframe that. So for example, it might be like, God, I'm getting so fat. And then it's like, nope, snap, move it over. I feel good about the way I look, right? Or, oh, my husband's an a-hole, or whatever it might be. And nope, I love my husband, right? I mean, whatever it is, business is hard, life is hard, I have no money, right? Well, if you keep saying you have no money, you're going to always have no money. So, money comes easily and frequently. So recognize how much that what you're saying to yourself. And what you'll find is that if you do this for about a week, you're going to realize just how abusive you are to yourself, just how what you say to yourself. You wouldn't have any friends if you talk that way to any of your friends. And then you start to become really aware of it, and it just gets easier and easier for you to start talking more positive to yourself. Then you'll find that more positive things start happening. You're happier. You have more energy. You have more enthusiasm. And so that's one strategy that I utilize. And I'm just really, really conscious of my thoughts. Like I was telling you yesterday, and I don't need to talk so much, but I just got back from a week's vacation. And, you know, on the way there, I didn't even tell you this, Mary, but on the way there was like a traffic accident. And so we had to leave without any luggage. So we left without any luggage. So my husband goes, babe, let's just jump on the plane. I go, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So we called the lady. She came back and grabbed our luggage. We had our friends pick it up because they were going 3 days later. So we had no luggage for 3 days. We grabbed like a couple things of underwear, some shirts, and we just had the best time, right? We didn't even care. And so then we had a great vacation.
We did the walk around naked.
I know. Well, he like literally in the airport opens the airport luggage. He's like throwing things in there and, you know, in a bag just so we had something. And we were just like, we're doing this. And so then on the way home, we get to the airport 3 hours early because we wanted to make sure we didn't miss our flight. And then our flight gets delayed. So it got delayed so bad that we missed our transferring flight, right? So they put us on a different flight. We had a 6-hour layover. So we were at the airport for 10 hours total. Then we had a 6-hour flight and a 7-hour flight. And we were just like, okay, we can be mad about this, or we can just, it is what it is, right? So what we did was, usually I'll like download a bunch of books and stuff, but I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna chill. We downloaded some Netflix. We just watched Netflix. We smiled. We got home at 1:30 last night. This morning I was up at 6:30 and I decided to like undo all of our luggage, you know, so it was just, it's okay. I mean, we could have chosen to let that ruin our vacation, to be pissed off today, to be blah, blah, blah. And we didn't, neither of us, you know?
Wasn't end of the world. You made it happen. You chose to enjoy your life no matter what struggles came your way.
Yeah. And I know people are listening to this going, oh, big deal, that's nothing. But I mean, remember, when you're looking at somebody, you don't know what they have going on in the background, right? Like no one looked at me and knew that I was going through a really rough divorce. No one knew that, you know, that other things that were happening that were pretty rough, right? People don't see that. All they see is, oh, you've got everything. And no one has everything. Everyone is exactly the same. It's just how you choose to attack life. And you have to attack life, you know?
Yeah, but Krista, you're so right. But how we handle small roadblocks is how we handle big roadblocks. A person's attitude will show up. Even if someone is late, they're going to have a cow. They're going to be in a bad mood. They're going to let that whole thing ruin their trip. Versus, you know, someone like you is like, okay, it's part of life. What can we do? What control do we have over this, right? And it's not the end of the world. I love the fact that you said, how could someone start to really start feeling good is to have an awareness about what are they thinking. Because most people, and this was like before I got into coaching and self-improvement, because I didn't even know my thoughts, what I was thinking, because it's just so part of you. You think it's just normal.
Yes.
To realize what this is doing versus your soul, right? It's the first key is to have an awareness. What are the thoughts? You know, what am I thinking every day? And I go through that with coaching. I ask people, what do you focus most of the time? Let's write it down.
Yes.
Like you said, most of those thoughts are very negative. And most of them are in the past, but they got stuck with something happened to them or something did something to them.
It's so funny. So I actually had to go to counseling. I love counseling. I love self-improvement all the time. But I had some issues from my childhood that were really kind of haunting me still as an adult. And you don't realize it when you have traumatic things happen, no matter what it is, right? It could be a divorce. It could be a loss of a loved one. It could be, you know, even a breakup of a boyfriend or girlfriend. It could be just anything. But what happens is it gets stuck in your body. So those feelings get stuck in your body. And so what you have to really identify is, you know, what really is true with your life now, right? Like who you really truly are. And then where did that feeling come? Like what's your story that you're telling yourself? Like I told my students, what's your story? What are you saying about yourself, right? And then figure out what got triggered in certain parts of your life. And then really realize that was your life then. That's not now. Now, who's Krista Mashore now? Krista's an author, a coach, a successful person. She's a go-giver. She loves people, right? She's enthusiastic. She cares. I'm a great person. But at times I have this like fearful child, scared, right? I'm not good enough. I mean, I've struggled with the feeling of I'm not good enough. People don't like me. I mean, for years, and I still have to remind myself, nope, people like you, you're good. Because they're this negative self-talk. So you've got to really identify things that have happened to you in your life that are the past, right? And what was your belief system about yourself then? Yeah. Now what's truly your belief system about you now? And remind yourself of who you really are. And if you're sitting there and you're going, well, my life sucks, I have nothing good, then you need to say, okay, then let's see, then who do you want to be? And then put that person as the present state. Like, I am successful, I am a leader, right? I am happy, I am generous, I have a great marriage. I mean, whatever it is that you want to be, talk about it as if it's in the present and start saying those things to yourself. The mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's not, right? Like, our brain is packed with neurons, and those neurons are designed to give us what we think about. If you've ever read in the book Psycho-Cybergenetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz.
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, you've got to read it, Mary. You would love it. You haven't here? No. Anyways, it's the whole book is about scientific research that shows that your brain, and there's just study after study after study, but your brain doesn't know the difference between real and what it's thinking. So you have to start thinking, visualizing, talking to yourself with all the good things, and then all of a sudden those good things start to happen. But most people do just the opposite, right?
Right. They're not aware of it, like you said. First is to have the awareness, where you are and where your mindset is. Yeah. And then you can focus into where you want to go, right? Next, where you want to get. Is there anything else you want to share in terms of, like, you have any offers, anything people could read your book, or could
One thing I want to say to people is this, is that, the best way for you to get happy is by helping somebody else, right? There's nothing that will make you happier than being able to start doing more for others. So if you're really having a hard time and you feel like things aren't going your way, start doing something nice for somebody else, just little things, I don't know if you know this, but one of the programs that I have, it's called Teens Lifting Lives, and we take kids and for 8 weeks, they read a book with me, and then we teach them how to pay it forward twice a day, right? Do random acts of kindness. We teach them how to, use the trick of talking nicely, teach them how to be leaders. And by giving and doing something like that, you just get so much more in return. So if these young kids realize that just by sticking up for somebody who's bullying, or just by helping their teacher when their teacher needs help, or opening the door for an elderly lady at the store, that all of a sudden they start to be happier, and then they start seeing other people around them start doing nice things too. Be kind, right? Like, look for ways that you can help people. That will help you. So remember the trick about the bracelet, right? Take a rubber band, switch hands, and then start to do 1 or 2 random acts of kindness a day. Not for anything in return, not because you're trying to get back or you want business, just because you want to help. And pretty soon you're going to see your life just starts getting better and better. But for one of the things I have is this book. It's called Fire, Financially Independent, Retire Early. Your Crappy Job Won't Quit Itself. It just literally came out, and it's basically for people in life that, stay-at-home moms, or their kids are going off to school. Someone that's been working for somebody else forever and hates it. Just somebody that wants to be uplifted, this book will help. So what I'll do is I'll get you the code where people can download the book for free. And if you're the kind of person that wants a hard copy of it, it's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, but I'll give them the virtual ebook for you and your listeners.
Oh, thank you so much for your generosity. Yes, send me the link. I'll attach it to this email when people get it so they can download it. I appreciate that. That's a wonderful book. So many of us need that book. Thank you.
That's cool. It teaches you how to find your passion in life, something you're really, really good at, how to find your purpose, and then turn that into something that you can monetize and make money from. So it goes in all aspects of how to find your why, how to take that vision and put it into a plan, and then how to market it once you've actually had it. So
wonderful. Wonderful. Krista, thank you so much for your great contribution today. I've learned a lot of great things from you today, and I didn't know so much about you. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. I love what you're doing for people. It's awesome. Everyone needs leaders like you to help remind them that, they can achieve anything they want if they just keep pushing. And never give up. That's another thing. Just keep going. If you just don't ever stop, you cannot fail. You got to keep going, keep going, keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mary. Appreciate you having me.
Okay. Thank you. Till next time. Bye.